Ms. Moore, you and your sister, Shawanda, grew up believing that Mr. Moore is your father, but are now in court suing your mother for paternity fraud because she recently dropped a bomb and revealed that Mr. Moore is not your biological father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Moore, you are 100% certain that these are your daughters and the DNA test will prove it. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Willis, you admit you intended to take this secret to your grave and came clean to your daughters only because your sister forced you to admit the truth. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I want to treat these as two separate cases so we can truly understand the testimony. Monica, I'd like to start with you. Shawanda, you may have a seat. Monica, so how has your mother's revelation affected you?
Well, it affected me in a lot of different ways, you know, finding out that Stanley, my father, is not my father.
Take me back. When did
When
you...
I was a teenager, about 18, we was at my Auntie Miriam's house, the one that's here today, and they was joking around like, you know, he's not your father, and da-da-da-da-da, and I went and asked her about it, and she was like, no at first, and then she was like, yeah, you know, he ain't your father, he ain't your sister's father as well.
So up until that point, this is the man you believed is your father.
It's the only man I ever knew. So it was kind of hurtful, you know, to go to him about the situation, because he is a good father. He always been around, I always knew him to be my father.
When did it come up again?
It came up frequently. Like every time, like my auntie, she like the house where everybody come to. And my family is like blunt. They say what they want to say. So, you know, it wasn't just her, it was like another auntie, and they always, you know, you guys need to know who y'all father is. Y'all mother been lying to y'all. It's about time that y'all know.
So, Mr. Moore,
Yes,
these
Your
beautiful young girls, you've always raised them as your own. These are your
Always.
daughters.
Ever since they was born. Been-
Always believe that they are your biological daughters.
Yes.
He's the only man that we ever knew, even with my mother. Like, my mother didn't get another boyfriend until after I was grown. So he's been here the whole time.
All their life.
The whole time.
Only father they know.
And that's how you plan to keep it.
Yes, I was.
So this entire
Just
situation
lying.
was by design.
Right.
And so you say you would have taken this secret to your grave.
Yes, I would.
That's
They
what
would
you
never-
planned to do.
Stanley was
She
gonna
still
always
would
be
have
their
took it to her
family.
grave, Your Honor, if I wouldn't
gonna be
have
their
forced
family.
it upon her.
Only father he ever knew. They ever knew was him.
That's fair to us?
Not telling them nothing.
That's fair to us,
That's
your
how I
kids?
wanted it.
That's fair to us?
My sister came out and had a part in it, a hand in it too. Then she got to telling them that they don't look like him, and they look
We
different.
don't. We don't. She
Which
don't.
it wasn't
We
her
don't.
business to say anything. It was my choice.
Well, thank God she
I
said
could have came.
something.
I supposed to came in there if I wanted them to know something different.
That's not
It should've
right,
been
though.
my choice.
That's not right. That's not right.
Even though it might have been right, but that's how I felt at that time.
But I want to understand this, Ms. Willis. So were you in a committed relationship with Mr. Moore
Yeah. 27 years straight.
for 27 years?
He's the only man that we ever knew.
So, Ms. Willis, I want to ask you, what happened during the relationship that you believe another man is Monica's biological father?
I had an affair.
You had an affair.
So she said it was a one-night stand. But
It was a
from
one-night stand.
Our relative,
See,
it was
that's-
an ongoing
that's what
situation.
you always
in the
go
front
wrong.
door,
Listen
out
to
the-
other people instead of her mother.
Well, you never told us anything. We wouldn't be here today. If
you
if
told
they
the
would
If you
have
truth.
said
wouldn't have
something.
brought me here, I wouldn't be here at all.
But the truth should set you free.
Take me back. You had the affair. You realized you were pregnant.
The timing didn't match up. The months didn't match up. So I knew that he couldn't be his.
So when you did the math and you counted back of when Monica was conceived, you knew that was during the time when you had the affair.
Right.
But you always told Mr. Moore he was the biological father.
All the time. All three of them.
Why did you tell?
Because we was in a relationship I didn't know. So he was there for me.
I thought
But
you
through
just
thick
said
and
the
thin.
time didn't add up. You did not.
Thick and thin. From I had her through the pregnancy, all through it up to now.
Even got evidence with him on the birth certificate. He signed our.
Let me see that. Jerome, what is that? What is that evidence, Ms. Moore?
It's my birth certificate.
This is your birth certificate.
Correct.
Listed under father, Stanley
Stanley
Moore.
Moore.
No.
And so you told him he was the biological father?
Yes.
You were present for the birth, Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Cut the vertical cord.
You did?
Yeah.
Did you ever tell the other man you were pregnant and it possibly could be his child?
No.
You didn't tell him. So he does not know
No.
to this day
No.
that you believe Monica is
No.
his biological
He could
child.
possibly have a beautiful daughter.
He don't know until
31 years later,
No, he don't know. Never knew.
he don't have the
He
right
don't
to
even know she exists.
Whew, now that's hurtful.
To hear that, Monica.
Yeah, it's hurtful because if it don't come out the way it should, he not being my father. This man don't even know nothing about me. Who's to say he want me to, want to get to know me?
Your father's standing right there.
No, he may not be our father. So what if he's not our father? Then where do we go from there? You robbed me, and you still sitting here. You ain't apologized. You don't
For
feel
what?
like. What you mean for what?
If you want more episodes of Paternity Court, make sure to subscribe and click on the notification bell. So, Miss Willis, you said you planned to take this secret to your grave until your sister revealed it.
Yes, Your Honor.
This was something they were instructed not to talk about, and they did anyway?
Yes, Your Honor.
When did Mr. Moore find out? Right in that same moment?
Just now.
Yep. What are you crying for?
Because it hurts to know that
What
we
hurt?
in this
That's your
situation.
daddy.
Yeah, he my father. What if
What
he
you
not?
crying
You
for?
saying that he not? You saying that he not my father?
That's the only one you gonna know.
If it turns out really the way you're saying, that he is not her biological father, will you introduce her to her biological father?
Will you? Do I get that at least that right?
Yes.
All right, I want to hear from your aunt. Jerome, can you please escort her into the courtroom?
Sure. Ma'am, come with me. I'm going to have you go up to the witness stand right next to the judge, okay?
Okay.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Thank you for joining us. Your sister, Ms. Willis, has indicated that you were the person that told Monica and Shawanda that Mr. Moore is not their biological father.
They came and asked me, did I know? And I told them, yeah, I know who your daddy is.
You know. Really, you know.
She should have told them a long time ago. I thought it would maybe be her place to tell them.
You'd have shut your mouth, it still would be my place.
Well, anyway, I told them.
Do you know who Monica's father is?
Yeah, it's a friend.
So she knows.
She been knowing him for a long time. She ain't just met this man. She been knowing this man.
Did you discuss this with your sister, like in just
No.
between sisters?
No.
I always tell her to tell him. Why don't you tell them before they get too old? Now they in their 30s and 20s, and she's still standing up there like she don't know what I'm talking about. This ain't the first time we had this conversation.
got nothing to
We
do
had
with
it all the time. All of us get together and say, why don't you tell them who their daddy is? Stanley was a good person. She was just sneaky. He go to
A
sleep
liar.
working
She's
10
a liar,
hours
as
a day.
you can see.
10 hours a day. She go out the back door. We all knew it, but we didn't want to tell Stanley.
Do you believe Mr. Moore is either girl's
No.
father?
No.
We the outcast. We don't know who our father is.
All right, we've been dealing with this as two separate cases because we want to understand the circumstances and we want to give you each the opportunity to understand your own individual circumstance.
Yes,
so
Your Honor.
if you are ready, Monica, I have the results for you.
I would love to know.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Moore versus Willis, when it comes to 31-year-old Monica Moore, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Moore, you are not her father.
That's okay, baby. I'm still the daddy. I'm still the daddy.
Well, your mother did say she was going to introduce you to your biological father.
She would have did it 31 years ago. She knew.
He is still living, right? And you know how to contact him, right? And you will make the introduction, Ms.
I
Willis?
can't do the introduction, but I can give her information she can do it herself because she's in prison.
Monica, are you all right if we move on to your sister's case now? You can remain standing with your dad if you'd like. Please stand, Shawanda. Let's take a breath. I'd like to understand, Ms. Willis, as it relates to your other daughter, Shawanda. Was it another affair? Is that what happened as well?
Yes, Your Honor. I told her that Stanley wasn't her daddy.
When? How long ago?
5 years ago.
5 years ago. And you're how old, sweetie?
27.
You're 27. What did she say?
She told me he hit my daddy.
So until you're 22 years old, you grew up with this man as your father.
Mm-hmm.
He's there for you. You have a relationship.
Yeah, we have a relationship. It's a great relationship. He's there for me and my kids. My kids love him.
That's their granddad.
That's their granddaddy.
What prompted this conversation? You asked her?
No, she just came out with it.
You can't keep lying because look at her. She don't look like him.
I am confused. Why tell one, Miss
Don't
Willis,
tell the other.
but not tell the other?
Because I wasn't sure about her.
Okay, now I'm
I wasn't
understanding.
for sure at all. I always thought that was her daddy. I never thought she belonged to nobody else.
You
I had that doubt, but I always thought Stanley
But
was
she
her
was
daddy.
young. She was like
Shalonda, I knew.
Papa was a Rolling Stone. That's the kind of life she was living. And she had these kids and just wouldn't tell them nothing. She knew she was cheating all the time.
That's my business.
Like I say, she was a Rolling Stone.
You still don't get it. That's the cold part about it.
No, she don't get it because she'd have kept her mouth shut. She always talking, don't know what she's talking about.
So wait, Ms. Willis, when you say your sister don't know what she's talking about,
You talk too much.
you mean she talks too much and
She
talking
always
about.
in people's business need to be in her own.
So wait, you were living with Mr. Moore when all this happened.
Yeah, living together.
Yeah,
How long did this affair last?
a year or two.
A year or two.
She been knowing him about 9, 10 years. It wasn't nothing that just happened. She been knowing because he was a family friend.
You know him too.
She was messing with him before she started messing with me.
Stanley was a working man. He worked 12 hours a day. She had fun. She
All
ain't
work.
never had a job.
He still got a job.
So, Mr. Moore, you worked hard all these years to provide for your family, take care of your wife.
Yeah.
All of this, and during that time, you knew your wife was having affairs?
No, I didn't know.
He didn't know.
He
That
said
one.
he signed our birth certificate, but he didn't sign mine.
He's not on your birth certificate. Let me see that.
I was on vacation on her birth certificate.
So this is your birth certificate, name of father withheld.
I withheld it.
You did. You remember doing that consciously and saying, I'm not going to give his name. Because
Yes, Your Honor.
Because at the time she was born, you knew.
I knew from day one that was not his child. I just didn't know about this one.
She just used me.
Yeah, she did
That's
that.
all she done. She just used me. I was just a user.
And it don't even affect her. She just like, whoo, oh well.
It's done, it's done.
Well, it don't matter. I'm gonna be there anyway.
Shawanda, how do you feel in this moment?
Hurt.
He all we know, Your Honor. We don't know nothing
I don't
else.
know
We don't know
another
which
man.
way to go. Because he all we know.
That's exactly why we're here, because we want to get you the answers you need so you can figure out how to move forward. And I have those results for you. Jerome? In the case of Moore versus Willis, when it comes to 27-year-old Shawanda Moore, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Moore, you are her father.
Like, oh my God.
I'm still your father too.
Miss Willis, you genuinely look shocked. You
I
genuinely.
am, Your Honor.
I think, Miss Willis, this is an important moment.
Okay,
It's an important moment, and I don't want you to miss it
okay.
because your daughters, they've been struggling. And as much as it would be easy to just make you a complete villain in this, I'm trying to understand where you were as a woman. And I think you should take this moment and just talk to your girls. so that they don't feel like you just don't care at all?
Oh, I'm sorry. I love y'all, both of y'all. And I still want him to be y'all daddy, both of you. And it didn't mean it happened that way, okay?
And that's an important moment, Ms. Willis, because I felt those walls. You know, I've been here looking into your eyes for the last 30-something minutes. I couldn't see anything. You put those walls up and it makes it look like you don't care, when really it's just because you don't want to face it. And I think your sister and your family members, they were trying to help. Once one knew, it became this thing where they then had to look at their nieces and they felt for them. And this is what paternity secrets, they permeate the fabric of a family. So start feeling it all, just processing it so that you can figure out where to go from here. Mr. Butterfield, you've summoned your ex-girlfriend, Ms. Bracknell, to paternity court to prove that you are the father of her 2-month-old daughter, Cara. You say she's denying you are Cara's dad because she's worried her family will be torn apart when the results prove you are the father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Bracknell, you say there's no way Mr. Butterfield is your child's father. The only reason why he's doing this is to break up the family you now have with your fiancé, Mr. Dallas.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Butterfield, why do you believe Cara's your daughter?
Me and Mrs. Bracknell had a residence together for almost a year. We did try to, have a baby together before.
Okay, so you lived together?
Yes, we did.
And you were in a relationship?
Yes, Your Honor. She had told me when we were breaking up, she said, "Thank you for the gift." And I said, "What gift was that?"
And it wasn't till later that you found out she was pregnant.
That is correct.
And then when you found that out, you thought to yourself, was that the gift?
The baby?
Yeah, you thought
My daughter, yes.
That's what you thought?
Yes, Your Honor.
When she said thank you for the gift, you said, oh, that's what she was talking about.
Yes, Your Honor. She hid this from me 8 months. Hid my daughter from me for 8 months. And wasn't there for her to be born.
Calm down. Stop it.
Yeah, some other guy got to cut her umbilical cord. Yeah, that's fine. Make me out to be the jerk, whatever.
Can
I'm
we
here
stop
today.
this now?
You still want to be
Or
here.
something's-
So, Ms. Bracknell, you were previously in a relationship with Mr. Butterfield.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
I was.
Then you went back in a relationship with Mr. Dallas.
Yes.
And you have 3 other children together.
Yes, we do.
Now, when you left Mr. Butterfield and went back to Mr. Dallas, you were pregnant at that time.
No.
When did you find out you were pregnant?
Honestly, I didn't find out until I'd say 3 months after I did move out of his house, because I was having irregular periods, so I just let it go for a minute. I'm not really a doctor person. I don't.
So you
keep
didn't go
up
to the doctors for how long?
And
So what you're saying is when this relationship ended, you didn't know you were pregnant.
No.
But once you found out you were
I
pregnant,
wasn't
How could you
pregnant
not?
at
You're
the
not
time
having
that we
periods.
broke up.
you weren't pregnant at all.
No.
So why are you convinced your fiance, Mr. Dallas, is the father?
All the features of my other kids are in that little girl.
Like what features? All
Every
your kids,
feature.
all your
She
boys
has
have blonde
chubby
hair.
cheeks,
cheeks,
she's
the
tall,
nose, the
long.
ears.
Cheek, the nose. Look at her.
So,
Beautiful.
Mr. Dallas, you say you are Cara's father. You believe
Yes,
you're
Your
her
Honor.
biological father.
Yes, Your Honor.
He is.
Why do you
No,
believe
he's not.
so?
If I may, the evidence.
Oh, yes.
August.
Let me see that evidence.
August, her and Jesse split up. September, we was getting
Together, moved
We
in.
were
So this calendar outlines
August.
the
when
dates
Mr. Butterfield split up.
when the relationship with Mr. Butterfield and Ms. Bracknell ended and when she came back to you.
Yeah.
So
In the middle of
you say Cara was conceived in mid-September and she was born in June.
Yes,
June
ma'am.
10th.
And she ended the relationship with Mr. Butterfield at the end of August, am I correct?
Yes.
So you're saying if we count back, there's no way Mr. Butterfield is Cara's biological father.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Butterfield, you look at this calendar. Is this accurate? Is this when the relationship ended and when she went back to Mr. Dallas?
No, Your Honor, it's not.
It's not?
No.
What do you remember?
Oh, because honestly, we were sleeping together after that, all the way up until October 8th, the last time we had sex. Because I remember, I can take a lie detector test if you want to prove it.
So you
up in the
said
mountains, up in the hills. You don't remember that, right? You remember, right?
I wasn't with, we weren't together.
Asking me for money for gas so you can go see him.
Yeah, I so asked you for money, huh?
Yeah.
So, Mr. Butterfield, you're saying that you were still having sex with Miss Bracknell till October. So although these dates may be true, they are missing.
Yeah.
They're
That is correct.
inadequate
Yes, Your Honor.
because October, there should be...
Sorry, I'm not meaning to interrupt. She used to work for an auto parts store, and she would call me and be like, hey, let's have a quickie, let's do this, and then she'd go back on her little...
Oh, really?
So, no, that right there is all a lie.
So you're saying she was still sleeping with you in October?
Yeah, I'd be willing to take a lie detector test, would you?
Yeah, I would, actually.
Let's do it.
Oh, I'm scared.
You know, I think the paternity results in this case will give us all we need to understand.
Yes, ma'am.
So there is a lot at stake today because Ms. Bracknell and Mr. Dallas, you have a family. You have how many other children together?
We have 4 kids, counting Cara.
4
No, you
kids,
have 3
including
kids,
Cara.
No,
including...
she is Doug,
No,
so
you have
shush.
3.
Yeah, I got 4 kids, Your Honor.
No, you have 3.
got
And
my little
Mr.
girl,
Dallas,
Cara, and I
have
got
you
money.
ever considered how you would react if, in fact, Cara is not your biological child?
You know what, Your Honor? I'm gonna love her the same. She's my little daughter. She's gonna be my little daughter. I'm gonna raise her my life.
She is
I'm gonna
not
raise
your
her.
daughter.
I'll raise her.
Nothing's going to be changed.
Nothing's gonna change. I love her to
At
death, just like I do now. Before today, I'll love her the same. You know what? With this, he's actually made our family stronger than trying to push us apart. What he's been trying to
That's
do.
good. I'm not trying to get her back. I'm just trying to be in my daughter's life.
No, you just have a. No.
You named her. Yeah, from what I hear, you named her after what? Your grandma, and she got your last name. That'll change very soon.
No, it won't.
Oh, no, it won't.
Cara Christine Dallas is what it's gonna stick with.
No, it
Yeah.
won't.
Watch.
Because I'm coming.
Because it's my daughter. I mean, there's no.
Come all
When
you
she's
want.
mi-
It
she's
ain't gonna
mine.
do anything.
I will be coming.
Okay, we'll see.
So, Mr. Dallas, you named Cara. You did.
Yes, Your Honor.
You were at her birth.
Yes, Your Honor. I cut the umbilical cord. And
Yeah, you could cut the umbilical cord because
did.
I wasn't there. She hid it from me for how
Oh,
long?
you were there. You were stalking
8
us
months
out
stalking
in
you.
the,
in the parking lot.
Yeah,
The only
don't
time that
even.
I actually
Don't
ever
even.
found out that you guys were even pregnant is
What is this, Mr. Butterfield? This
that's a
evidence?
Facebook post that they posted on that the baby was even. That's before I even knew.
It
And then-
says, this
that's
little
the-
girl is ready.
Yep, that little girl's ready right there. And then I also, the only thing I got was a text message from of a friend saying of her sister holding my daughter.
And that's the only way you knew about this pregnancy? Otherwise, you knew nothing about it?
Nothing.
There's no
She
reason
hid all
for
of
it.
her pregnancies. She even hid the one from her
no, I
youngest son,
didn't.
Carson. She hid from him.
No, I
he
didn't.
wasn't even at her youngest son.
We were split up.
You were
We've
split
had,
up. You
we
hid it
went
from
through,
him.
No, I didn't.
Hid it from you, right?
I didn't know when she went into the hospital. Yeah, but you know what? We're over it.
Isn't that hiding it from you?
We're done and over with it.
We've split through.
So what you're saying, Mr. Butterfield, is that this is a pattern she operates, where she hides pregnancies.
Oh yeah, she'll even run to her exes. It's like a pattern. She'll run to him. She'll run to
From
another guy
people
that she cheated on me on my birthday.
I did not cheat on you.
She was gone with her ex on my
it
birthday,
dramatic.
and then come crawling back after that.
She was gone with Mr. Dallas or somebody else?
Somebody else. There could be more than one person
No.
that she's been with.
No, it's not true, Your Honor.
Really?
Really?
Since Cara has been born, have you tried to be in her life, Mr. Butterfield?
I have actually. When I found out about it, I've messaged her mom, let him know I was coming. I blocked, obviously, on their
That you were
Facebook.
coming?
I have-
Let's explain that text
You guys
message.
even got together.
5 seconds after I posted that, he texted my mom saying, I'm coming to get that girl. Just
Oh,
all threats.
Well, if I want to
is
be in
pretty
my
much
daughter's
what
life,
happened.
why wouldn't I be?
Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that if she is your daughter, but we'll see.
Yes, we were. We'll see today,
We
won't
will.
we? That's why we're here.
Let's get it done.
So, Ms. Bracknell, you're convinced he's not the father. There is no way, even though you don't dispute what the calendar says. You were with him 1 month previous to when you were with Mr. Dallas.
Yes.
But
It was close, yes, ma'am.
When's the last time we supposedly slept together?
Are you asking the questions here?
I'm asking you, because it's from...
Anyway, we were together at the end of August, and I'd say beginning I'd say that.
So
I don't know the dates exactly. Are you asking the questions?
Miss Bracknell, what you're saying is once you were finished with the relationship with Mr. Butterfield, you didn't have sex with him again.
No.
Once you went
We
back to
moved out.
Mr. Dallas, you were in the relationship with
Yes.
him, and that's it. And that's why you believe there's absolutely no possibility Mr. Butterfield could be Kara's
Yes, sir.
biological father.
Yes.
You also are submitting to the court today that you were not intimate with anyone else during that time, not the ex he's speaking about. There was no one else.
Nope. Just them two.
Okay.
I bet you fail a lie detector.
And Mr. Dallas, the truth is you're the only father Kara knows. She knows you as daddy.
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor.
That-
Yeah,
oh
way too
yeah,
much stuff went on.
that's perfect. That's gonna be me very soon.
Look at that. Look at him.
She looks more like me. Even her own family says it. Her own family even tells
They
me
ain't family.
they look like me. She's got my nose. She's got my lips.
We'll see.
She's got my brown hair.
We'll see.
All her boys are blonde. All their boys are blonde.
Yep,
Doesn't
and they've
matter.
gone brown the older they get.
Exactly.
So you are convinced, Mr. Butterfield, this is your daughter.
Oh, I'm 100% convinced.
So you have no doubt, Mr. Butterfield. Ms. Bracknell, you say you have no doubt. And Mr. Dallas, you say you have absolutely no doubt.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
So you've not been allowed to see Kara or be in her life at all.
No,
There's no reason for it.
there is every reason.
And if, in fact, it's determined today that she is your biological child, what are your intentions?
I don't want her back. That's anyway. I want to be in my daughter's life, and yes, the name will be changed.
No, it ain't being touched.
And I would like some sort of visitation.
It doesn't
to
matter
see my
because she's
daughter.
not yours. I know 100%.
And his
It's
name will
not-
be off the
there's
birth
no-
certificate too.
He was there through the whole pregnancy.
Oh,
Every
because
single
I couldn't
time
be,
we
you
got
hid it.
back together, because we did split up. We had our times. I had postpartum. It went rocky, back and forth. Yes, I admit to that. But every single time, the reason why we have 4 kids is not even a month after
You have
we would
3
get back
kids,
together.
and the only reason why?
I'd get knocked up. I'd get pregnant. So there's no way. I was with Jesse for a year, almost a year, and not once was I pregnant. Not once, you know what I mean? I wasn't having problems. Just my periods, and that was regular for me.
Do you think your relationship with Mr. Dallas can still flourish?
Yes, Your Honor. He's a different man today, honestly. All of this has been making us a lot stronger. And I was afraid to tell him, honestly. I didn't know if it was going to get rocky from there or not.
When you
I
broke
was
up with you.
afraid that he was going to leave.
Bring me
But
back. You always try to.
I thought you didn't want me back.
I don't want you back, but
Okay,
you always
then
try
what
to
are
come
you
back
sitting
to.
here talking
it's like
about?
So wait a minute, Mr. Butterfield, you said she'll be back.
Yeah, she always.
Why do you say that?
She runs back to her
been a
exes all the
year.
time. She runs back to all of them. Like the last person she cheated on me with was an ex-boyfriend. She run back to him. How many times? The only reason why she wants this baby, my daughter, to be his, she wanted the same baby dad. She didn't want to have 2 different baby daddies.
No.
But yet we were trying to have a baby before. and
No,
yet-
we were not.
So, Mr. Dallas, clearly from this calendar,
Yeah.
if Kara is Mr. Butterfield's child, then Ms. Bracknell was intimate with him either in September or October, as he stated, because of the timing of Kara's birth. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, if in fact Kara is not your biological child, will you be able to continue this relationship?
Oh, yeah.
You will.
Yep.
Okay. I think there's only one way to move forward, and that's to get the results. Jerome?
Look at that baby, baby.
I'm gonna go stand between
Can't
them.
wait to get home to her.
Thank you.
Me too.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Butterfield versus Bracknell, Dallas, pertaining to 2-month-old Kara Dallas, and whether Mr. Dallas or Mr. Butterfield is the biological father, it has been determined by this court. Kara's biological father is Mr. Butterfield.
That's fake.
What did I tell you?
It's fake.
What did I tell you?
It's fake.
Served.
You ain't getting her.
What?
You're not getting her. Watch.
It's all right. We'll take another one.
Truce out.
So you were correct, Mr. Butterfield.
I just want to see her.
You ain't.
How's it feel?
Feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be there.
I will.
Okay.
Now you got to look at me all the time when I come.
I ain't got to look at you ever.
Sit right there.
Everything.
Stop.
Listen.
You're just the dad. I'll be
We
the father.
say in this courtroom, plaintiffs lie, defendants lie, the DNA doesn't lie. It does not change the fact that this man, his hunch was right all along. He felt like this was his child.
If I would have known, it would have been different.
No,
honestly.
It would have.
It would have. I'm a Christian woman. I'm not like that. I'm not gonna do that. Laugh all you want.
So, no. Now this man is over here in tears because he missed everything that he so desperately wanted to be there for. He's not going to just let this die. He's going to go back to your home state and at least petition the court so that he can visit his child. Can you all do that on your own?
We'll figure it out when we get there, I guess.
Mr. Butterfield, is it your intention to be a part of this child's life?
Yeah, I wouldn't be here today.
No, you just didn't want to pay. I want to get out of here.
I could have stood back and let him, let him raise her and not done a thing about
Still going
it.
to.
But I'm here, trying to be a part of my daughter's life.
Now that you know the truth, are you still maintaining your position that nothing will change and you still want to be in a relationship with Miss Bracknell and be a part of Kara's life?
Yes, Your Honor. Nothing's going to change.
Mr. Lillard, you say you were forced to open this case after receiving a message last year from Ms. Holt's 20-year-old son, Delvin Holt. Ms. Holt, you say you have unsuccessfully tried for 20 years to get Mr. Lillard to accept responsibility for your son, Delvin, and today is the day he is finally going to accept the truth. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Lillard, tell me about your relationship with Ms. Holt. What do you remember? How did you meet?
Me and Ms. Holt met back in 1997, summer school, high school. She'd go out to eat with my mom, I'd take her out to eat. I was in love with her. I cared about her. You know, I experienced a lot of things with Ms. Holt. She was the first for a lot of experiences. And
your first for a lot of experiences?
A lot of experiences.
A lot. Jerome, he said a lot.
A lot of experience.
Seem very experienced
Some
to
I
me.
can't even say, but you know.
Seem very experienced
So
to me.
does that mean she was your first? You lost your virginity to Miss?
No, not quite. She was the first for some other things.
Well, Your Honor.
I'm scared to ask what other things.
She's the first woman I went downtown on.
Oh my. Okay.
First woman experienced a lot of
Okay,
other
that's
things.
too much information.
But
Really.
I'm just saying, I had a lot of admiration for her. But she was also my first heartbreak, first person I really experienced what pain was. So, you know, and you know, it's not been no back and forth fighting over the years. It's been a very cordial thing. But she made some mistakes that cost everybody a lot of pain right now, me and him.
Pain.
You know,
So,
to do with him.
Ms. Holt, tell me about the relationship. What do you remember?
We was in a good relationship. We really didn't have any problems. I love Darius. He know that. We did some things that we shouldn't have been doing at the time, and with those actions, we have Delvin now. So.
Okay.
So, Mr. Lillard, I could see your body language when Ms. Holt was testifying. What happened? Where did things go wrong?
Things were wrong when I caught her cheating.
Yes. What happened?
Well, on this very sunny, bright day, Miss Holt just decided not to be at school. Wasn't in none of our classes. We usually meet up in class, hallways, whatever. She wasn't there. So, you know, hey, me being me, I know something's going wrong. So I tell you what, let me skip school myself. I left school, walked 2 miles to a family's home, knocked on their door, no answer.
It wasn't even
Look
like
through the
that.
peephole.
It wasn't even like that.
See shadows moving all around.
No.
Through the
no.
peephole?
Tiptoeing towards the door.
No.
So I parked myself on that concrete,
Your
sat
Honor.
Indian style for 4 or 5 hours till they had to come out.
It wasn't even in there that long, so you need to stop
Wait a
telling
minute,
stories
Miss
like
Holt, hold on now. This story is fascinating.
that.
So you sat there for 4 or 5 hours,
Sure
Mr.
did.
Lillard?
It was not that
Waiting
long.
on Miss Holt to come out?
Come out. Somebody was
wasn't
coming
a-
out, and I
it
knew it was
wasn't
gonna be
that
her and
long.
somebody.
So what happened when the door finally opened?
Door opens up. I see a fella that I end up knowing. Knew this guy. Me and him never had any issues. He like, darn, he's shocked to see me. I'm shocked to see him. Like, darn, you know, he called out my name. I called his name.
We was gearing-
She's
Your
standing
Honor.
behind him, and she's mad
Your
because,
Honor.
yeah, you caught. You wasn't
Your
expecting
Honor.
this. What is it to say?
So
That's
what
when our
does Miss
relationship
Holt
ended.
do?
That's when our relationship ended. She ain't had nothing to say. That's when I ended it.
Oh, you ended it
Your
right
Honor.
there.
I shut it down.
That's when the relationship ended, and that's fine.
So, Miss Holt,
Yes.
who was in the house with you?
That was just a friend. Just a friend. We was not in there for no 4 hours. Matter of fact, it was like 10, 15
I left second period.
minutes.
I left second period. That's early in the
No.
morning. I left second period.
No.
Second period is early in the morning.
No, it was not.
So you got third period, fourth period, lunchtime, fifth period, and sixth period.
You was
I
not
left.
even out there that long. I know you wasn't, because I wasn't even in the house that long.
So,
You was too busy. You wouldn't know.
You don't know. I wasn't busy doing nothing.
She wouldn't know.
so Miss Holt, why did you finally open the door?
Oh, because we was getting ready to leave out. It was time for a family member to come home, so I knew that I had to leave, and I knew he was outside knocking on my door also.
But if you have a steady boyfriend, why are you leaving school with another boy and going to lock yourself in the house in the daytime and skipping school to spend
That's
time
true.
with him?
That's
I mean, this really doesn't make sense.
That's true. That's true, Your Honor.
And this is just me personally. But if I'm knocking on my boyfriend's door and I don't care if it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or 4 hours, we got a problem.
Yes,
Amen.
exactly.
Yep.
If the door doesn't open right away,
and I truly understand that.
Next thing you know,
but
she
as
pops
far
up
as,
pregnant.
I
Okay.
was pregnant, Your Honor. I was already pregnant before that even happened.
so after the door
Well, that
incident,
makes it even worse. If you
I was
already pregnant and you gonna
We
sleep with
was
somebody else.
No, we was together. Thank you
Oh,
very
Lord.
much. And you know that
this
we
is
was having
mind-boggling.
unprotected sex, so therefore you cannot deny and say that.
so you're saying that shortly after this encounter at the house where she wouldn't open the door, she says, I'm pregnant.
There you go.
Do you remember the day
Yes,
she
Your Honor.
told you?
Honestly, no, I tried to block out my mind after that. I was
After
hurt.
that-
like I
after
said,
that,
that
we
was
was
my
pretty
first
much-
time ever.
Oh, so you had the puppy love heartbreak over
Yes.
that.
It's my first time ever experiencing that.
Ah.
Out
And
my
it was
mind.
crazy,
It was a wrap.
mad crazy.
I blocked out my mind, and I ain't never forgave her for it.
Darius was not present during any point of my pregnancy. He was not present any point of him being born. He was not there at all.
Nope.
But after Delvin was born, did you let him know?
I did let him
What was
know.
his response?
Of course, he still was upset in his feelings, so therefore he was like denying him. He's not mine. Darius knows that Delvin is his child.
So I want to hear from Delvin now. Delvin, what do you know about Mr. Lillard? There's a lot of conversation about what was going on before you were born. What do you know about him?
Your Honor, my mom has always told me he was my father, and I just basically came here to let him know I don't need a father, but I just really want to come to find out if he is so I can have closure, me and my mama, so.
But
And they look
Your Honor?
just alike. I mean, you can tell on the pictures, they look just alike. It's not a secret.
So what has this denial felt like?
Your Honor, it really it hurt me a little bit. Any kid needs a father, you feel me? A boy at that, so it was painful to know he didn't want to deal with me or nothing like that, but it brushed off growing up.
Because I made sure that I did a great job
Yeah.
as a woman, as his mother and father, to take care of him.
Your Honor, but I also one of my other kids, who I had a DNA test with, after she called me years later, she asked me, could I do this? Well, I'm already in the system. Go down there, take him down there, and have him tested. We did.
They look just alike, Your Honor.
We did, and I got a paper saying that I could be excluded as his father.
Really? Do you remember this occasion with this DNA test?
I remember going down there and taking a DNA, me and Delvin going out to take a DNA. I don't know if he showed up or not. I never received anything. When I called down there, they had no records of him going down there to take a DNA for him.
Mr. Lillard, did you sign off on this?
Now, that is the strange part. When I called them to get the paperwork to show that I done this already,
where was it at?
There was nothing in the system.
But you did receive a result, you said.
I received a result. That's the only thing I received.
And what did that paperwork look like?
Result is.
Had all of the numbers and all the matches, all that stuff, and down at the bottom it read, Darius J. Lillard could be excluded as the father. Because I've had 4 of them done. So I trust me, I know.
Now, are you sure that wasn't a result from maybe the other case?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Trust me, I've had 4 of them done. If there's any kind of discrepancy with any woman I sleep with, I ain't worried about no child. But go on down there. Come on, let's go. Ain't no shame in my game. I'd rather know our child is mine now than later.
And so as you prepared for your court case today, I mean, this is critical evidence. Did you contact the court or attempt to get copies of that paperwork so you could bring them to court?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
What did they tell you?
There was not, my name was under this case. My name was under it, but there was no information. There was somebody else under there. So somebody else was tested. So there we go. Now we know of 2 other people.
Wait a minute, somebody else?
The guy that I caught her with, he's not even listed under there. But there was somebody else's name under that same file as mine. So that's 2 people now, and that's 2 people other than me. So that's 3 people total that I know she's been with. So,
3?
I mean, you tell me do the math. You do the math.
What are you talking about?
So hold on. Ms. Holt, did you test another man?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, I did. I had another guy tested, and he was not the father. And that was because I was dealing with him before me and Darius had got together, so it wasn't his.
Did you ever tell Mr. Lillard you tested another man as well?
Yes, I did. So he
I don't recall it.
Yes,
I
did. So he was aware. Yes, I did.
That.
He knew.
My name was under there too. I thought they might have mixed both. That's got to be my test. Maybe he ain't took one, because I know what I got in the mail.
Where's the results?
Errors can be made.
Where's the results?
So, Ms. Holt, did you ever test the guy that was in the house that day?
We didn't do anything, so there was no need to test him.
And you never had a sexual relationship with that person?
No. No, Your Honor.
Sex education was more important than regular education at the time.
For you too, also.
We kept a relationship going over the years, off and on here and there. I go over there.
When was the last time we had sex, Darius?
It would have been last night if you'd have told, I went to you. Yeah, it would have been last night. But.
Come on. But I didn't want to come over there.
My focus is on this young man and me. Me having closure and this young man having closure. If I thought more about sex education, she would have been
So wait, you almost ended up having sex last night?
No, we did not.
If it was not about this young man and me.
He wanted to come over, but I didn't want that.
She just can't tell the truth, just period, point blank.
Really? What do I need to tell the truth to you for? Who are you? Like, you're nothing. You're nothing but Delvin's daddy.
But, Mr. Lillard, I need to ask you this. I can understand we've all experienced the puppy love that went wrong, and that first breakup, you just feel like you're not going to get over it, and it seems like you haven't. But I need to say, do you really, truly believe you are not Delvin's biological father, or are you just still so hurt because this was your first big love, that it's a way to punish her, to never believe her. It's a way to punish her, to never buy in that this is your son.
You know what? The pressure, I really want to ignore it because I feel like I have enough to ignore it. That's not it. If I'm his father, I want to know. If I never got the paper back then, I left it alone. I got that paper. I ain't crazy. Just a lot that's been going on 20 years. And it's not my fault.
All right.
He's paying
And it's
for it,
not
I'm
my
paying
fault,
for
and
it.
it's not my
and At
fault
the end of the day. And that's why I'm here, because this young man deserves it. That's why I did it.
All right. So, Mr. Holt, Delvin, what are you hoping for today?
Your Honor, of course I want to know if he's my father. It'll be good if he is. But at this moment, it's just like, I just want closure.
You just want to know.
Yeah, I just
No,
want to
there's
know.
a lot of
Your
time
Honor,
gone.
that's it.
It's a lot of time.
It's a lot of time.
2 years.
All right. It has been a lot of time.
Yes.
And I feel like it's time for us to get the results. Jerome? Thank you. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. In the case of Lillard versus Holt, when it comes to 20-year-old Delvin Holt, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Lillard, you are not the father.
Okay, baby. It's cool. Dears, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for putting you through that. I really am. Sorry.
Ms. Holt,
Yes.
I want you to understand, and I hope this moment has proven to you that your son's gonna stand by your side regardless.
Yes.
And I say this to say, it's time for you to be honest.
I believe that there is.
Well, that's not it though. See, listen, that's what I talk about. DNA, it don't deal in hopes, prayers, bet my bottom dollar, swear on my so-and-so's life. The DNA don't deal in that.